Uh-huh.
So you said your dad owned a restaurant, right?
Yes.
So you said you don't even know what liver tastes like anymore. So how long did it kind of take until you didn't crave? Like right now, I'm thinking about fish and chips. I mean, and I know it would be the worst thing I could possibly eat, blah, blah, blah. But how long did it take for you to just not have those cravings for what your dad would serve in the restaurant, et cetera?
Well, again, I'm a little unusual with all that. So as a child, 4 years old, I used to dissect things. And I'm fascinated by the inner workings. So here I am dissecting bugs and things outside, and go home and we have a little chicken wing on the plate, and I'm like, oh my God, it's just like my arm. And the veins in there and everything. So I was already grossed out by all the food. But what else do I eat? And I didn't like vegetables. So in my dad's restaurant, he made the best pickles. I still can't find half sours like he did. So it was pickles, and I was so picky. I would have macaroni with butter. Give me everything plain. Every year in school, teachers would complain because I eat one food for the whole year. You know, later on, it's like I was supposed to be a raw foodist, a mono-eating raw foodist. It was just there for me. And so really when I went vegetarian, because I had the health issues, the doctor said you can't eat meat. It's like a fish floating in the bowl, just belly up, and I was getting poisoned by this. So thankfully for me, I got sick if I ate it. But still, I craved it for the next year. And a couple of times I went out and I got a hamburger, 2 bites, and I was so ill. So but what I had to do is find different things. So what I usually tell people, and so great question, thank you, is not to take away what you're used to, because then your mind's going to play tricks with you. You're going to have those cravings, I want what I can't have. Find other things to begin to put in that taste somewhat like it. I didn't do potato chips and popcorn anymore, but I wanted the salt. I would do avocado, and I would sprinkle spirulina over it, and it gave me this taste of Yaya's herbal popcorn, which I was never going to let go of. That was the last thing that I ate of cooked food. And I was like, I'm not giving up my Yaya's. And one day it doesn't taste good anymore. But I found different things. Now I do chia seeds, and I make a cracker, I put some caraway in, and I put herbamare, which is a salt. There's my salt. I've got people off of pretzels and chips with those. So before you stop what you're doing, if it's going to cause that stress in your body, find different foods to give you somewhat the flavors, maybe not all the texture, but start changing your taste buds and start changing your thinking. It's got to come from there.
Usually to get through, you know, like if you're just having travel and you can't make this and all that, you just fast during that time. Is that kind of what you do?
Yep, I could care less about food.
Okay.
I love making it. I love playing with it, the colors, the textures. I was into sewing and fabrics and this and that. And then in my dad's restaurant, I could make whatever I want. Huge restaurant, and we could pick up piles of stuff, throw it in the pans and play. I still love to do that. I don't want to eat it. I want my fresh fruits and vegetables. On occasion, I will eat, you know, what you do. I have the mock salmon available. I have simple things like that. But I would rather just have a big bowl, and I pick, you know, an apple and I'm on the run, or a piece of celery and I'm on the run. I've been known to have a big leaf of kale. I'm in the car and just chomping on that, and people are like, whoa, wait a minute, what's that? It took time, but it's also a mindset. For me, it's a choice. So people say they'll order something, go, ha ha ha, you can't have this. And I'd say, no, I choose not to have that. I can have whatever I want. I can do whatever I want to my body. So it's the mindset of, no, this is what I choose. This is what's best for me. I am this important. That was really important to me. So it's a little of both. And drinking more fluid in between, so you offset that.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you know, soups have a lot of water, obviously. So do you kind of minimize soups at the beginning? I mean, because I heard you with the food combining, you start with the softer things. So it seems to me like you would have a soupy substance first, and then move towards the harder things. But soup can also have so much water that it waters you down, and now you're not.
So you've got to give enough time between that course.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how we always used to do at home too. My grandmother would come and we'd have the soup course, and then she'd clear that away, and we're all like, where's the food? And she'd always make us wait. We didn't know why. But she always had that waiting time in between. So it's the best we can do with families and being on the run and everything. Yes?
Could $1. Could you explain what that is, why that happens?
Sure.
Why you just can't eat that now and like you did before?
Yeah.
Why you get so sick?
Yeah, whether it's meat, whether it's, I knew somebody that did it with sausage, whether it's fish, and especially you're talking fried foods, it's the oils in there, partly. That's one of those things. Your body can't break it down anymore. So, not that your body doesn't make all those enzymes every time, but it gets lazy. And so it's not making those enzymes coming into play. We just can't break it down anymore. The system's not used to it. Doesn't recognize it in the same way. And your pH balance has changed. You've changed the terrain. It'd be like if you were coming here next year and they put a fork in the road and it goes the other way. You're like, whoa, wait a minute, this doesn't look right anymore. Which way am I supposed to go? You got to take a minute to focus in. So kind of the same thing with the food. The body's not used to having it anymore. Just not going to recognize it right off.
So it's really no longer prepared to accept that.
Yep.
Okay. Because
Yep.
I know that's how I've made the changes. Because
Yeah.
I made them and then I go back and have something like ice cream was my big thing. And it's like getting hit upside the head. I mean,
Yeah.
I had to pay for that and came for 3 days. And I thought, well, what can I make?
Yeah.
You know, that's okay. And I came up with something that satisfied that particular craving.
Yeah.
And then now I'm okay. I think what you said is so true, to find something that can replace that little taste that you really like, whether it's salty or crunchy or
Yeah,
whatever
definitely.
it really is.
Yep.
Because after a point in time, it's almost like there's no way, because you're scared to death. If
Yeah.
you do that,
Yeah.
what's gonna happen?
Yeah, it's actually.
It gets worse. The longer you do it, it gets worse.
Yeah, yeah. So it's great when you have that reaction. One of the things when I first started too, people were like, oh, you're too sensitive. They didn't want to go anywhere with me and whatever. And I'm like, fine, I don't have to go there. It's not all about eating. And I was telling them I would rather know right now what my body is telling me rather than just stuff it in and just be okay and feel sick later. I want my body to react right now so that I stay away from those things. The other thing is you're going to dinners with people, and that's the way people socialize. I sometimes bring a green drink, or I get there and I'm like, you know what, I really don't want anything. I just want water. And they all have a fit. They know me enough now. But they're like, oh my God, I came here with you. And I said, you know what? I love you. I came here to be with you. What difference does it matter what I have on my plate and what you have on your plate? I'm sharing right here with you. And so let's just, enjoy the moment and not worry what we're eating.
If you're in a professional situation, it's a little bit more awkward, but I love the sentiment.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
If you're out for a business dinner, it's really hard to just have water.
Then
And
it's a
for
health-
them, yeah, it's just a little different. But
Sure.
I appreciate it, and I can.
So-
I feel you.
So maybe sometimes you have to just say it's a health issue.
Right.
You don't have to say you have one, you just say it is.
Right.
Because that's your
It is a
mindset,
health
that this is
issue.
healthy for you. I went to another country and it's rude in a lot of places if you don't taste their food, and I was like, oh God, I can't have coffee, I'll keel over. So then they brought me a Coke, because I kept touching the coffee, I'm like, oh, hot. So they brought me a Coke, something cold. So finally I just, put it up to my lips and they were happy, that's all they needed,
I have to
So
say,
yeah.
one of the best salads I've ever had was in a steak joint. I was on a
Sure.
professional interview and everyone was eating whatever, and I went to the salad bar, the Morton Steakhouse,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
and that salad bar was one of the best salad bars I've ever seen. And I
Yeah.
ate an A&A, no problem.
Yeah. There's always a little something, or just tell them you're having a little health issue right now. You want the salad, or you just need some liquids, or have a cup of tea, or Everybody knows me now, so it doesn't bother them anymore. Good.
I always say the
Good.
3 magic words, my doctor said.
Yeah.
I would love to have that steak, but my doctor said. Well, then don't eat it. Make sure you don't eat it.
Yeah. Good one.
Yeah. And I'm not lying because I'm my own doctor.
Yeah. Good. Then when we get out, putting something healthy on our body. I don't always use soap in the shower either. Don't always need it. And if I do, I've looked for the cleanest things. I've looked for Dr. Bronner's. I have an African black soap. Just look for things that are really clean. If you're getting soap deposits on your shower door, imagine what it's doing to your body. And we walk around with that all day, covering us, and it's going inside. So I don't put anything on my body that I wouldn't eat. So mostly I use coconut oil. If you have an allergy, I'm not sure what else is out there. I mean, because some people have the nut oil allergy, so they can't even use almond oil. You can make up your own oil by water and olive oil. Put it in the blender. You can put a little bit of vitamin E, or there's a few other things to hold it steady. But if you put, and I don't remember if it's equal amounts, do you know? You're shaking your head, yeah? Yeah, that you've used it or done it or heard of it. So yeah, I'm not remembering if it's equal parts, but you put some water and some olive oil in a blender and whip that, and you're going to get this beautiful emulsified lotion. It will break down, keep it in the refrigerator, it will get liquid again, and that's why you want something else like maybe the lecithin or some vitamin E, and then it will hold it for a while. There's a company that sells an ozonated olive oil, so it's oxygen infused, which does even a little more. That company, if you want to write it down, is Family Health News. Amazing company. I get my food grade hydrogen peroxide to cleanse things, and I get a product called Colasan. So if any of you want to do a big cleanse, there's the whole thing about fibers. There's psyllium and there's flax. And if you want a fiber in there, I don't like the cleansing fibers that work with psyllium, because psyllium absorbs 40 times its weight in water. So here we go again with the intestinal tract. If you've got that in here, it's sucking you dry. And it can form a big clog, and that's not good. So I found an oxygen product called Colasan from Family Health News, and can never get too much oxygen. And they have a powder, but I've graduated to the capsules. I don't do milk. I haven't done milk since I was 15. I drank a glass, I put it down, the milk was back. Cannot touch the stuff. So almond milk, even years later when I started doing that, I was grossed out. It's slippery, it's the texture. I think it tastes good. I was just like, oh God, I cannot get a whole glass of that down. That's not going in. So when I was doing the Colasan, it looked milky. And instead of doing a big glass of it, I would put it in this much and just down that. And then I would drink my water. So now they have capsules too, and the stuff works amazing. So they tell you how to take it a little bit, but if you really want to know how to cleanse on that, you can get in touch with me. I've got cards here you can take, and we can go through that. I just talked to you about how to take it, what dose, what's going on with you. They have a couple other products in there, so you can check that out.